Hi, my name is Erin Park. I'm 21 years old and am an advertising major on the pre-medicine track with a minor in Spanish at the University of Florida. I was born in Seattle, Washington, so yes, that's where I'm from, and that's the answer you'll get when you ask me. Where am I actually from? My parents are from South Korea, which is right here. Thanks for asking. I grew up in Seattle with my little sister and my mom and my dad. When I turned 7, we moved to Gainesville, Florida, so that my dad could start his research job at the University of Florida. Now, I didn't realize I was different until I started going to school. My first day of preschool was a bit traumatizing. I didn't know English, and I only knew 3 words: hi, Safeway, bye. My first language was Korean. I didn't know how to ask to go to the bathroom, so I sat in class all day in silence. When the day was over, I was filled with anger because my parents didn't think to teach me the language that I needed to speak. I quickly learned to speak the language because I had to. When I entered elementary school, I was forced into a lower level English class just because of the race I identified with. They took one look at me and figured that I didn't understand the language. Throughout my middle school and high school years, I had to petition to get into honors and AP classes. The petition said that if I started failing the class, I could not switch out. I would have to take the grade that I got in the class. There was one thing that I was good at: math. So here I was, good at math, fitting the Asian mold, getting almost a perfect score on the SAT math section and getting a 5 out of 5 on the BC Calculus Advanced Placement exam. I knew what I was good at. But let me stop you right there. This is not always the case. Meet my little sister, Eunice. She's 19 at the University of Florida and studying art and education. Here's some of her work. She's also pretty good at math, but did she enjoy it as much as I did growing up? No, she only enjoyed it because it was the cultural norm to be good at math. Okay, now back to me. An Asian, good at math, how cliche, right? Nope. You know what I can't do? I can't use chopsticks. That's right. As a left-handed person, my parents just let me figure out chopsticks on my own. So when I try to use them, I look like this. To the future waiters that will be serving me, pass on the chopsticks. I'll be asking for a fork later. You know what they say about assuming? Well, you know what they say. So here's a bit of advice. Next time you meet an Asian American, ask yourself this: would I want to be categorized because of the color of my skin? If we continue to think the way we do and live the way we live, racism will continue to persist in our country. Change only happens when we recognize the problem. You might be wondering, what'll happen if we don't change anything? Aren't we doing fine now? Without change, our future generations will continue to believe that they are stuck in a mold that society has created for them. Our future generations won't have the opportunity to explore and discover their true passions. My sister Eunice and I were so lucky to grow up with such supportive parents that allowed us to create our own futures. Taking the first step to end racism is taking the step in supporting the generations ahead of us. Squash the stigma to help Asian American children understand that math isn't always the answer.